Right, new Defender front grille. Apparently in this box, I haven't even looked at it yet. Ben's looked at it and photographed it, but I haven't. Apparently we've got a front grille illuminating strip. So careful when you open these boxes, don't cut through it. Ooh, let's have a look what we got in here. You haven't seen it either, have you, Destiny? No. Nope. We get the idea, we've seen the picture of it. Right then, let's have a look. Whoop, whoop. There you go. Ooh. So what have we got? What have we got? Any fittings? No. So in this video, we are going to demonstrate this. We're going to test it with a battery. We are going to fit it in our nice shiny black 90. Because this one's it doesn't really suit the Stig, this, does it? This is more, not really going to help us off-roading and doing all the Stig type stuff. So there we go. So we have got a nice gloss black shiny thing. We've got the place here where the badge goes, and the radar's going to sit behind it. So what have we got on the back? It all looks quite nice. There we go. So this isn't designed by us. This we've sourced from China. Hence it's got some Chinese writing here that I can't read. I think there's a couple of people making these out in China now. So we're going to test this one. We got so oh look, so it's got so obviously there's the light strip here, and then they've had to run the wire over to the second bit. It looks like it's got some breather here to stop it getting full of condensation. We will do a product test, but that's not looking too bad. Okay, so, right, let's have a look. So what connections have we got? How are we going to wire this up? I've got no idea yet, but we'll work something out. Right, there's no instructions with it. So I guess you need to think about when do you want it to come on? And I guess you want it to come on with ignition like a DRL, don't you? So we could even find a fuse that did that and put a piggyback fuse on it, because there is the seats, but we want to be in the engine bay. So there's that engine bay fuse box, isn't there? It's a bit of a pain to get to, but I think that's where we're ending up. So let's have a look what we got. We have got a wire. What have we got at the end of the wire, Destiny? We've got a red and a black, which I'm guessing a positive and negative. So earth, we can earth anywhere-ish. And yeah, it looks like they've given us the piggyback fuse. Interestingly, they've supplied us with two fuses, because normally you get the one you take out of wherever you piggyback to. Maybe we're going to... so let's have a look. So we need to find a fuse. We'll do that to plug it into. And that looks like that will go from the grill back to the fuse box. Right, so let's have a look what happens. Right, so get somewhere where you can see it, Destiny. Shall I turn the lights off? Let's turn the lights off. Well, some of the lights will go off, not all of them. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. Right, so we will connect this up and let's see what happens. So when you start your car, this should happen. Whoa! Whoa, my giddy aunt.
Oh, that's nice.
Whoa. Now, obviously, when you turn your car off, it'll just be dead to the world. It'll do that. There's no power down sequence. But let's watch the power up sequence again. A bit gimmicky, but we don't mind that. It's got Knight Rider vibes. Can you remember Knight Rider, Destiny? No. Never watched Knight Rider.
So.
You know, what was the Hoff? The Hoff. Right then. Okay, let's put the lights back on. Right, so we are going to go. I did a video on removing the front grille. So let's just quickly talk you through what we're going to do. We're going to open the bonnet and we are going to remove, because, yeah, let's have a think. Now, clearly, let's just grab it and look at it a minute. Clearly, this is not just that grille strip, is it? This is the whole front bit. So I think what we've got to do is we've got to take this whole section out here, whoop, 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 which isn't too tricky, and then I think this bit mounts onto the back of this, so we'll have to unmount all of this and then replace it with this and then get it all going again. I'm actually a bit excited. Right, so already, so basically you've got 4 of these 2-part fittings. Destiny's going to show us how to get those out. These little 2-part rivety things. We've got 4 of those along the back edge, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Torx T30 bolts along the front edge. So let's whip those out. So you've got the little slot at the side, and you can get a screwdriver in, and once you can either pull it all the way up like that, or you can use the little forked tool. But don't drop anything. What have you lost? We've lost the clip. Oh well. Actually, I think it fell out. I think it fertled out. We'll have a look at that. Yeah, maybe use that. go gentle with it. Put your finger on the top to stop it pinging out. Yeah. Well, I'll give her I positioned a nice little yellow pot. Right, go on out. Right, we'll get, right, and then the bolts are T30 bolts. Get that one out. Right, and then a T30 bolt there. Right, they're just simple screw bolts. We got no technology there. Right, so we'll get those out and then we'll come back and we'll remove the slam panel. Right, rip it off. Let's have a go. I think it's just sort of squidgied on there, isn't it? Yeah. Is there some sort of plasticky, rubbery, sealy shit going on?
There's these which you could easily snap.
Oh yeah, look at those little cornery bits. Whoop. Right, that's that off. Right, and now we can start to see some bits that actually look familiar. Now we may have to whoop these clips off. Right, now this bit is kind of tricky. I watched my own video on this, but basically we've got to pull this front bit off now. So you see here, Destiny, where that pulls. It's quite hard on the black car. It looked much better on the... And basically there's some clips. Now the top clip you can get to here. So I'll show Destiny how this works, and then I'm going to have to get the trim tool and go down the side. Right, so we've got this side off. So if you just pull that forward, Destiny, you can see these clips, and they've got like little sort of pyramids on the end. What you've got to do is push the pyramid back in. Now you can get down in behind here for the first couple, and you can push that and release them. And we got the first two. The third one was tricky, and the fourth one we just had to get a trim tool in and push it like that. We'll have a go live on the other one. Right, one thing you've got to watch is you've got this radar connector here. So pull that little grey tab back just gently. That's the lot, and then push it down, and you should be able to disconnect the, twist. There you go, that was the touch. Right, yeah, that's disconnected from the car. Right, let's swap again, Destiny, so we're good. Right, so can you get in down behind there and find that little pyramid for the top ones?
Yeah.
You've got to push the pyramid into the centre of the car and then pull the grille forward at the same time. But it's tricky because the second one will still be holding it. It's getting that first and second one out. It's not having it.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. It knows it's going to give up. Yeah, I can see some movement. Sometimes you have to push on the headlight guard as well, because in my other video I did bring the headlight guard out by mistake with it in your hand. Mm-hmm. I think once you got the first one, yeah, there you go. Third one. Or are we down to the trim tool for the third one?
Oh, my fingers are touching it, but
it's not happening.
I'm a millimetre off.
Right, grab the trim tool, see if you can. The trouble is you've got to try and work out where it is.
Wants to take this out, would it? Look.
Yeah. I'll push that in. And wiggle it about side to side, the trim tool. Oh!
This side off.
Off. Have you got access? You got sneak access in there. Careful, because pulling it at an angle might twist the clips off. You got any room in behind there?
No,
there's an air vent, yeah. Didn't help you at all. So there's 4 clips in total there. Right, let me give Destiny a hand. Right, so there we go. So the panel we're gonna do, I guess we've got to undo these little screws here and take this sub panel out. Ah yeah, because do you remember those little triangles? I remember those in the design. We'll go and have a look. We'll get a bit of cloth out because we don't want to scratch the front of this. And then, right, let's have a look at those clips then. So you can see here, these are the little pyramid-y bits. And what you've got to do is push them in so that they come out of these little slots in the side. It's hard to see on a black car. It's not the best car for videoing. Okay, so we've had a look at it. So this panel here, look, you can see I'm putting this is clipped together. And there's these little clips. You might be able to look at it side on there. And you've got to like push those in, and then that releases that one. And then you've got another one here. So we've got a whole series of these. I'm going to use a screwdriver there, see if that'll just release that out. But there's so many clips. It's let's have a look if we can pull that up. But I think this one is now holding it, so you've almost got to like, push, there you go. Right, so I've released 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just got to gently lever them out, and they don't move until you do the next one in the sequence. It feels like, because there's so many of them so close together. There you go. Right. I think we can see how this is going to work. That's it. That's going. They're clever, these clips, but they can be a bit. You'll be an expert in plastic clips by the time you've done this. Right. Now we need to get this bit off here. Right, let's get some pliers, squeeze these two little wings together on here. I don't want the radar coming off, do I? There you go. So I'm not quite sure what technology it's got here. It's just sort of got some ribs there. Right, so that is the radar, and we'll need to take this clip here off as well, which I guess is a similar sort of a deal. There we go. And another one. Okay, so that'll be the radar ready to come off. Right, let's finish getting this grill apart. So where have we got to? That one. I think it's just this last one over here now. See if I can. Right, you got the grill a bit for me. It is a two-person job, isn't it? There you go. Right, so that releases. So there we go. So that now, let's just pop that one on the floor. So we have now got those two there. Okay, so all we've got to do now is whoop out that bit, and that should be all we need. So let's get that radar out. So how's the radar held in, do we think? It looks like those 4 torques. Now if we got, let's have a look on here, because yeah, look, we've got the 4 mounting pillars here. So I think we'll get the torques on that and we'll be good. Right, yes, Torx T20. So just undo those 4 screws, and that should have us a radar. Oh, now obviously, I was concerned that the LEDs might cause interference with the radar, but the manufacturer tells me they've checked and there's no issues. So one thing we will do is before we release these for sale, we will check the adaptive cruise control and everything works. What does that just pop out then? Literally just lifts out. Okay, so we're all done with that bit there now. So you can get the badge. Oh yeah, and now the badge is a special badge. Yeah. The badge is radar transparent, and there's actually a patent on that badge. So how do we get that out? Look at the other one, Destiny, and have a look. There's
clippage, maybe?
There's some clippage. Those 3 clips, yeah. I think those, yeah. But we don't want to damage the badge, do we? Right, we think we've worked it out. You just got to give it a bit of a push, and it literally just snaps out. There we go. So that's that. So right, that should now get it the right way up. I expect they've made it foolproof. They have, look. You'll only go in one way because the way they got the tab. That should then snap into there. You got some reassuring snapping going on.
Not so much of an audible click, but
it's not going to fall out. Oh yeah, it's going to fall out. Go on, try again. Maybe you didn't. You got to ram it in proper hard.
I don't know. The clips are in.
The clips are in them. Maybe it's not quite the same after it's been de-popped once. Do you reckon we'll put a bit of super glue on bit of glue on them? Yeah, let's put a bit of super glue on those tabs. Right, we've grabbed the tube of glue, super glue, or we got some like Airfix glue, hard plastic adhesive. Just put a couple of bits, just because I don't want it falling off. Right, now let's grab the radar. So obviously this is the back of the radar, and that little bit there is the front window of the radar. You can see the reflection there. So that needs to look forward, and then pop that in. And you'll know if you got it the right way, because these little cable routes will be lined up ready to take the cable. Put those Torx T15 screws in, and obviously make sure you've got it sat properly. Look at the side here and make sure you've got no gap between those little standoffs. There's a little collar at the top of the standoff that sits inside the hole. You can see it probably just there. Okay, so we'll get those in. We'll finish off, get that little cable routed in there while Destiny's screwing that in. Right, we're now ready to see how easy it is to clip that back in. So we've got it all lined up. So lift that end up. I've got this end. Start at your end. I'm hoping the plastic clips come into their own when it comes to reassembly.
I mean, they're all lined up.
They're all lined up.
Just needs a good
They might need a thump.
yeah.
Yeah, because just to get them to pop, because they haven't quite skipped over. Right, let's hold it up and give it a thump. That's it. That's going. Well done. That's it. There you go. That wasn't too bad. You happy with all of that?
Yep.
Right. We're going to have a cup of tea, and then we'll come back and fit that on the car. Well done. That's looking good. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Whoop. Yeah, all looking good. Right, we're all ready to reassemble. So we've still got that radar connector. We've still got to put that in. We weren't quite sure which way that went, were we, on that bracket? So we'll work that out in a minute. But everything else should line up and clip back on. Oh, I don't know, you're too high there. You need to come down a little bit. That's right. Tuck the wire there. Yeah, you're way. That's. Right, I got this end about right. Yeah.
That connector.
Yep. Go on, the squeeze. Go on. That's it. Lush. Yeah. Well, you got a bit of movement. Yeah. You have to press it down to get it in, or you got it the wrong way around. Rotate it 180. No, good. But it was on top, wasn't it? But
It's that way now.
it's that way now. Maybe that was on top before, but that's okay. We've got it underneath this time. Right then. Right, give it. I think you're gonna have to give it a little tap once you're lined up. Give it a little. I'd give it a little thump just to make sure they. Is there any along the bottom? There's nothing. Just give it a little bottom edge a tap as well, just along there, just to make sure it's all good. Right, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Right, the next thing we've got to do. Don't forget to do this. We nearly did. And you've got to take these little what are they called, spire clips or something. We've got to take those off there. And we found the best way is to get a little screwdriver in and just lever them out. That's it. And then that should fit under here. You got enough room just to get it in. You could have done this earlier in the video, but there you go. They just snap on there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they form the mounting points when we put the slam panel on for those screws. Not those screws, the other screws, the Torx ones. There. Right, there's another one. Right, we'll get these on, and then we can start having a look at the wiring then. So the next thing is wiring. So let's have a look. How much length have they given us on the wire? So we've got to come out for here. We'll come up here, and then we've got this bonnet cable running along here. So we can go partially along with the bonnet cable. And what we're going to do is we're going to head up over here. Let me rotate the torch a bit. Ooh. We're going to head up there, and the next thing we're going to do is take that cover off here. We'll go across that little reinforcing brace there. Right, and we've got plenty. So we're going to head up into that fuse box at the back there. Right, so let's just spin those covers off. Yeah, you're good, you're good. So you spin, sometimes you've got to hold them, Destiny. They're moving, are they? Yeah, they're fine. And you don't, that's it, once you get, don't lose the other bits of them. Right, so you've got 1, 2, and then these two you can do with a coin or a flat blade screwdriver. You got those two there. So we'll get that off. Right, one thing, to avoid standing on a stool, we could put the air suspension down. We'll do that in a minute. Go on, you're there now, Destiny. We make the mistake so others don't have to. So in there you've got your fuse box and there's a panel. Now there's 4 clips as I remember, and you've got to just push them in to release them, but they put them in the most unergonomic. I can see one at this very far end, this end. Right, we lowered the car. It is awkward, isn't it? Have you got it?
Yeah, it's off. But
It's off. You now got to wriggle it out, yeah. there you go. You got it. You got to work out a way of wriggling it so you can get it out. Just get it out of the way. So let's model the clips for us. So where we got 4 clips. 1, 2, top and bottom, 1 left, 1 right. Yeah, it's a bit of a monster, isn't it? Right, so now we'll work out which, ideally we need a 10 amp fuse, because they've given us 2 10 amp fuses, that's ignition live. So we'll have a little probe now and work out which one's best. Right, so we've got the fuse connector. We're just going to plug that in and test it. We think we found a fuse, so bear with us. We're not going to tell you yet, but we'll find the fuse and check it works. We'll take it for a drive to check it powers on and off. But right, let's have a look then. So that's in. We'll route the cable all neatly. Here goes for our test drive. Right, Destiny's going to jump in. Let's see if it... And again, we'll show you the detailed wiring in just a second. This is just the first test. Probably worth doing this on your car as well. So let's have a look. Whoa. Yeah. Right, turn it off. And add a little pulse. Jump out, shut the door. Right, now we reckon that will turn off a few seconds after the headlights was what the voltmeter was telling us, wasn't it, Destiny?
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. Right, we're going to test it for a drive, check it doesn't do anything weird. Test run, all good. We just went up the other unit. I went behind, Destiny was in the Freelander 2, and it all looked good, didn't it? It all worked as it should, because obviously I couldn't look at myself.
Lovely.
That is the trouble. The light bar's for the advantage of all the other road users. You never see it yourself, but there you go. Who knows? Right, so we've got there. Right, we're going to do the wiring. I'm going to do the wiring. You're going to do the wiring, Destiny. So, yep, so we've worked it all out, and we are using fuse number 8, which is marked as EV on the fuse box lid, wherever that's gone. And I thought, well, this is a mild hybrid. So we thought we'd better go and check how it works on the Stig, which is a P300 no hybrid. And it seems to work. I don't know why it's got a fuse in the EV socket, but it has, and it powers up at exactly the same. So as you saw in the little demo we just did earlier, it powers up when you start the car, and it goes off after about 20 seconds. Now, that was a few seconds after our Follow Me Home headlights, but you could adjust the Follow Me Home headlights to be slightly longer. We'll try that at the end of the video, Destiny. And we could make it, so it does it.
Does it even it out, or does it then step it off again?
Well, no, I think you can say, I don't know if it's what increments, but I think you can leave it on for 30, 33, 34, 35 seconds, because it depends how long your drive is, you see. How long you need your lights on for, that's why your lights down. But we could make it so that when the Follow Me Home lights go off, the light bar went off at exactly the same time. We'll work that timing out and see if we can do that. But enough of that, Simon. Right, so we have got an earth, and we are going to put the earth on one of these bolts here. Destiny found this bolt here in very close proximity, and it's nice and shiny bolt. So, and that's what we're going to use for the earth. And the fuse, as I've just said, goes in fuse 8. But bear in mind, when you take the fuse box, there's 2 fuse 8s. How does that work? That's really complicated, isn't it? But you've got like a fuse 8 here and a fuse 8 here. It's like sort of twins in the fuse box thing. I'll put a picture on the screen now with an arrow to it. It's a 10 amp fuse. You whoop that out, and you're going to put this. Right now, Destiny is going to show you how to route this cable nice and neatly. We're going to include some cable ties with the kit. Right, Destiny, you do some work. Right then. So you're coming off your front grille here. Tuck it round the rubbery bit there. Somewhere there. Right, and then you've got this cable here. We can get a cable tie on there, but you're going to route it first, are you? Yeah. Oh, we found a little bonus feature, didn't we? In this little, there's 3 little things, but only 2 of them are used. The bottom one's there, all ready for the cable just to clip in. And then we're going to shoot up alongside this one here. In that little tray that's made for it. Well, you lifted this out, didn't you? Yeah? Lift that up. Squick that, make sure you put that cable back in there. Now, on the fuse box, we did find this little weird rubbery section. So, because as I've just said, it's like 2 fuse boxes. In the middle of the 2 fuse boxes, right here, there's a rubbery bit. And it's almost got some, see what we can see on the torch. It's almost got a split in it down the middle there, hasn't it? but not quite. But if you put it somewhere going across near this rubbery bit, it will be more compliant where it goes in. You could put a little slit in that if you wanted, but I'm not going to bother. We'll put that there, and that will allow it to go in there nicely. Alright, that's right, put it in the fuse, and then the wire's got to go up. It's quite lucky where it is. You can get that fuse in and it's not touching the relay box quite. If the relay was there, you'd be pooped. Right, we'll coil that up, and then right, this is all good here. That's all good there. We've got that in. You're going to cable tie it up in sort of round that bit there. Right, there we go. Snip the end off. Right, that's good. Well, that comes round here. Get one on this pipe.
Get one in here.
Yeah, that's a good little. One more where this cable goes at the front here. Then we've got to put the slam panel back on, the fuse box cover back on, and I think we're then ready for a final demo, aren't we? What was that? Yeah, you got. Oh, look at that! It goes in that little channel. Look.
Put him there.
Slam panel on. Snip, snip. Right, we'll get those snipped. Get the slam panel on. Right, nearly forgot the earth. So you only need, because this has got this forked end, you only need, that should be enough. You only need to loosen it a few turns, and it should just poke underneath. Right, we got that in. That's all underneath there. Nip that up. Make sure you keep it in as you're nipping it up. So we got earth. We'll tidy up the excess length on the earth and the power cable. We'll put the fuse box lid on. We'll put the little vent cover on there. Slam panel on. Then we'll have a final last demo. Check it all works. Right. So one thing I said is about the follow me home time. So if you go into settings on the Pivi and go into vehicle and go into exterior lights, it's got this setting here called home lights. So it used to be called follow me home, and it's the headlight duration after it's switched off. So it was actually set to 30 seconds, but unfortunately I can't fine tune it to 35 seconds. Why they can't just have a spinny wheel? You can get it exactly right then. So you're somewhat restricted to no follow me home, 30 seconds, 1 minute or 2 minutes. So you can't fine tune it to your drive length at all. But here we go. So we'll set that to 1 minute and we'll go and do the demo now. So that's all there, that's all good. Right, let's go and have a look how Destiny's doing. She's working away there. On it. Right, how are we doing, Destiny? Slam panels on, check.
Yep.
Cables routed neatly. Inner fuse box cover, and then the thing is on. Everything's looking good. No bits left over. Right, you can see there just where I've got out the car just by turning the ignition on. I didn't even start it. It's still on. So let's have a look. So that one's going to turn off. Which I think that's about 40 seconds then. And then you'll get about another 20 seconds to you. We can't fine tune that. We'll have to put that into Land Rover as a Pivi Pro request. Pivi Pro request. Right then, Destiny, go on, jump in and start it up. Those headlights will go out any second. Oh, have you got the keys or have I got the keys?
I got the key.
You got the key. There you go, it's all off. So start her up. There we go. Actually, drive it outside and let's have a look what it looks like outside in the daylight. Right, it's a bit rainy, but there you go. There's the light on. It does match, complement well with the little signature strip there on there. So there you go. There's the final job of the light bar. So good luck if you're doing that upgrade. It's quite stylish, it's quite fun. It's not going to help you off-roading, but there you go. Horses for courses, we like it.